Myrtle Wilson, as explained by an idiot. Myrtle Wilson from
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald
is one of the main characters who appears regularly throughout the book.
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
As such with all characters, Myrtle has a dream.
Have you ever had a dream that you could.
However, unlike other characters, like
Gatsby
or Nick, Myrtle's dream is a lot more subtle on account of her being in the novel a lot less. But Myrtle's dream is in there, primarily due to a few simple points of
indirect characterization.
This is where Myrtle gets her lust for attention and ultimately the drive for her death. To find Myrtle's dream is a challenge, but it is in there. To find her dream one has to scour for the most unassuming of quotes. To brave the plotline of the book and thousands of golden objects to find, at least, one single nugget of information about what her true intentions are. But eventually you do strike gold. For instance, during an argument involving Gatsby, Tom, and Daisy. Myrtle starts randomly shouting the name Daisy until Tom breaks her nose out of frustration. Quote,
"I'll say it whenever I want to. Daisy.
Making a short deft movement, Tom broke her nose with his open hand. This quote is only one of many who showcase Myrtle Wilson's drive for attention. Another one is located during a party she has in the second chapter. It is here that Myrtle and a couple of her girlfriends/sisters start talking about how fabulous their dresses are when all of a sudden, Mrs. Wilson rejected the compliment by raising her eyebrow in disdain.
It's just a crazy old thing. I just slip it on sometimes when I don't care about what I look like."
And she looked back at us with a brilliant smile. The quote shows that Myrtle enjoys attention and will seek it at every possibility. This includes picking her husband, whom she actively admits he was a bit of a stalker. But most importantly, this is the reason why her and her husband are the way they are. Why Wilson is a pushover, and why Myrtle craves a lot more than what she's getting. One last quote before we finish this chapter. This one is her spilling her secrets to the threadwill she finds at the party. Quote,
"I, Myrtle, married him because I thought he was a gentleman."
This quote is important because it showcases the fragile relationship her and her husband are in, as well as demonstrate her desire to gather attention romantically. In conclusion, her dream is to be noticed, either romantically or in general. This seems to be her driving force for whenever she does anything erratic or random. This includes her final moments, but we'll get to that in a bit. Yes. Okay, I guess I'll elaborate. As previously discussed, Myrtle's dream was to be noticed by her partner and everyone who isn't her partner. Well, that all comes crashing down the moment she sees her husband escorting another woman, Jordan. In a fit of rage, her and her husband start fighting. This ultimately leads to her final words as Daisy drives her over with Gatsby's car. Quote,
"Beat me.
He heard her cry.
Throw me down and beat me, you dirty little coward."
A moment later she rushed out into the dusk, waving her hands and shouting, "B." Before he could move from his door, the business was over.
The only thing that's
Anyway, enough feeling bad for a fictional character. Myrtle, in life, was longing for attention. However, the irony of the situation is that she received more attention in death than in life. The central themes of
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald
revolve around the idea of a corrupt, perfect dream. More specifically, it relates to the American dream and how flawed of a concept it really is. By extension, Myrtle's dream is one very similar to the American dream. In fact, they usually go hand in hand. Myrtle believes in not having to go alongside the American dream alone. That the dream isn't money or power, but companionship. And thus, in more ways than one, is Gatsby's opposite.
This song isn't funny at all, but it helps me sleep at night.
Neither Gatsby nor Myrtle thought of what they would do once they had everything they wanted. And this leads us to the major conflict in the novel. The American dream and the eternal lust for companionship has driven people insane. This novel isn't so much a preach on the dangers of chasing your dreams, but a cautionary tale of what most likely awaits you.